I don't usually go out this late at night to the place where the animals go. But baby, I'm here and I'm watching you move. There's just one thing you should know. Girl, you are my fire, only true desire. Swear I'm not a liar, you should dance with me. You should get to know me, kick it with the homies. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me. I don't usually go out this late at night to the place where the animals go. But baby, I'm here and I'm watching you move. There's just one thing you should know. Girl, you are my fire, only true desire. Swear I'm not a liar, you should dance with me. You should get to know me, kick it with the homies. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me. Let go of your worries, you should dance with me.
I mean, even if I'm shout.
We're ready? I don't have my spectator link yet.
The game's already been played. Here,
Is that the link for it?
the draft link. Okay. Find your info.
What am I gonna do for when to watch the game? How am I gonna watch the game?
Okay.
All
Are
right.
we like replaying the draft all the way through? Okay, just the spec link. All right.
All
sounds
right.
good.
When do we like? I'll let you just run over the.
All right. Let me know when you guys are ready for that then. Yeah, sure thing. Ignite, go ahead and take the wheel.
All righty. Welcome to AVG. This is week. What are we at? Week 6 now.
Yes, sir. Week 6.
All right. It's La Espada versus BaeDCarry Fan Club. Yeah, I'll be able to say that correctly one of these times. I'm Ignite the Ice, and this is Complex. I'll be your shoutcaster, and he shall be your analyst.
Yes, that I will. So, yeah, a little bit of a spicy matchup here. BaeDCarry fan club right now. They're fighting, trying to find that spot in the playoffs right now. They're in the middle of the pack with a few other teams right now. So, they're just trying to find like one or two more wins at the very least to try to secure that fifth, sixth spot at the very least. Maybe even try to push for a higher seeding. But today they were going up against La Espada, currently sitting around the number 3 seed right now, 2-3 seed, with I'm Not Trying, fighting for that number 1 seed. So
So it
every
should be
game
a pretty
matters
good
for both
matchup then.
teams. Yeah, absolutely. Every game matters for both of these teams. So uh, ready for draft now whenever you guys are.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at these drafts here. So Ignite, when you look at these drafts, what do you think?
Well, let's take a look at the bans first and see what we had banned out, what they're trying to not play against. It looks like La Espada banned out Vigar and Thresh, Vel'Koz, Silas, and Yone. Uh, I'm assuming they didn't want BFC to be grabbing the Yone. He's super strong right now, just like he can just take over games without really even trying. So I can see why they didn't want him there. Uh, what did BFC do for bans? We got a Nasus and a Nivea, more Jinx, and Morgana. So they
Yeah,
really banned
absolutely.
heavy out of the top lane, didn't they? They're trying to keep La Espada's top lane under control. At least that's my impression from the bans.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's break this down a little bit. So, BaeDCarry fan club, looking at their bans, they took away the Morgana pick, they took away the Jinx, and they took away the Mordekaiser. So the Morgana is a very strong pick in the current meta right now, and Kip is a
Super strong.
well-known, yeah, absolutely, and Kip is a well-known user of the pick in the jungle. Um, so they definitely don't want to give him a power pick like that currently. Going
Right.
for the Jinx ban, then taking away another pick from Complex. Myself, I'm just going to talk in the third person for this. Hope you guys are cool with that. Taking away the pick from Complex. He has played it before in the past, and it is one of his stronger picks. So definitely a smart pick, especially with how it is in the meta. And then looking at that Mordekaiser ban, Foja has played the Mordekaiser a few times now and has popped off every time he's gotten it. Aside from last week into a Volibear matchup. So looking like, just to be safe, they don't want to give that Mordekaiser comfort pick over. And on the side of La Espada, throwing a ban at the Thresh. It was played last week, I
The
do
Thresh
believe.
ban, yes.
Yeah, so they did play the Thresh last week in the bottom lane. So wanting to deny that pick, very strong pick. And then looking at the Yone and the Vel'Koz bans. Yone is the mainstay pick of the Asian Invasion. It is one of his strongest picks for sure. So definitely
Yep,
wanted to
we've
make sure
seen
he's not
that
on
over
a
the course of
comfort.
this season.
Absolutely, and the Vel'Koz ban. Vel'Koz also played last week, quite powerful in team fights as a mage. So maybe just wanting to make sure that they have a weaker team fight. And then looking at the picks going through this, La Espada taking the Tristana first pick. It is a flex pick, also one of Complex's mainstay picks as well. Definitely a comfort pick for him. We've seen him play it before. And looking at the other side, we're immediately at the Senna Udyr. So the Senna is a little bit of a weird pick here. It makes sense on paper why you would want Senna if like you just want to scale and play safe in lane, but into Tristana, you really gotta have something like a Tom Kench or something to like really keep you alive because there is a lot of kill pressure in the
Yeah,
bottom
you
lane from
need
La
some
Espada.
disengage. You need some disengage on the side of BFC. And Nami's got the bubble, which, that'll help, but until she gets her ultimate, she only has just the skill shot disengage. And Senna having no real escape. I gotta admit I'm a little confused on the Senna pick into the Tristana, especially if Senna was she picked into Tristana. Into Tristana. I can speak.
Absolutely, I do agree. And looking at this also, the Udyr pick. Udyr is a strong pick in the meta still, very popular from a lot of junglers, but they left up Kip's Karthus, which is quite a bit of an interesting one, considering that Kip got it in week 1, and in week 1 popped off and carried on that game and hasn't had it since until today. So if you look at this draft, it is very much deja vu.
I've
Uh,
been seeing a lot of Karthus in the Rift lately. Also, he's been popping back up, meaning he's got some pretty significant presence. It's a scary it's a scary pick on the side of La Espada, especially if you're BaeDCarry fan club. You kind of didn't want to see that. I was almost looks like they were hoping that the Karthus they'd be able to ban it on their second round of bans, and never got the chance.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely, it's a very scary draft from La Espada. Like you're looking at this, they have a very powerful team fight, but they're pinched in their damage. All their damage is on the Karthus pick and on the Tristana. So if Tristana for some reason gets behind in the early game, she will not be able to provide very much impact in the mid to late game team fights, and it will make BaeDCarry fan clubs itemization a lot easier. That also being said, if Karthus does not get ahead in this early to mid game, is not able to scale up, they also will just be able to armor stack against La Espada. So they're relying on a lot of their damage on two carries. If either one of them die in a team fight prematurely or they're not there for a fight, I mean, their damage just massively reduced without either pick. Looking at the rest of the picks, though, we got the Ornn in the top lane. Foja has played Ornn many times so far for La Espada. He's played very well on the Ornn pick. Strong late game scaling, but the pick itself into set, from what I do believe, is a counter matchup. Ornn does beat set in lane phase and outscales set later on. So I like the pick. I think it's a strong pick for that. So I'm personally, I enjoy that the La Espada opted to go for the Ornn. Likewise on BaeDCarry Fan Club, going for the Lissandra counter pick into Galio. Now I do believe Galio actually is a counter pick into Lissandra. So I guess if you're going for more of a team fight oriented pick, it would make sense, but it doesn't necessarily make sense to put yourself in a bad matchup. So looking at the side of BaeDCarry Fan Club, if I'm looking at these drafts, I have to favor La Espada in this one. Just because the use of the picks for the red side, it really does seem like they drafted kind of for an identity of sorts, but they kind of drafted themselves into their counter picks, and it's a little bit weird, to say the least.
I kind of have to agree. Like they looked like they were shooting for an identity. They got lots of movement, but they have to like synchronize that movement perfectly in order for things to work out how they're expecting them to. And then like you were mentioning, the Lissandra pick into the Galio again. That's the second questionable pick that I see. Why would you give yourself a bad matchup? Why would you go in against a champion that is specifically designed to resist mages and their incredible burst power?
Yeah, absolutely. So that will conclude it for this draft here. I mean, if we want to talk about real quick of the last couple bans that each team did throw out, taking away the Anivia from Carnage, not wanting him to be on that control mage that he did end up playing last time, and also throwing out a Nasus ban. It's a little bit of a strange one. Now, Foja, if you look at his OP.GG, does play Nasus, but I believe our main man Requiem up in the top lane is a Nasus main himself, so wanting to ban the pick and deny it from himself even is a little bit weird. Nasus not the strongest pick in team play either, so maybe they were concerned that they didn't want to take the pick themselves. They didn't want to risk getting counterpicked, but they also didn't want to have to go against it. So if that's your mindset, it makes sense. So alrighty, let's go ahead and let's head on over to the game now.
All right. Yeah.
Yep. I'm currently at 0-0. Okay, here you go, Ignite.
And we'll just use this stream, you and I. That way we're
Yes,
synced
sir.
together.
All right, let me know when you are ready.
I'm ready.
All right, so count it down for us. Yeah, same. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, sounds like we are good. Alrighty. So here we go, hopping into the game here now. Let's go ahead and
Espada
get these
versus
off here.
BaeDCarry fan club. BaeDCarry fan club. I'll get that correct one of these times.
They're not the fairies, they're BaeDCarry.
Yeah, they're the BaeDCarry fan club. Verbal
Yes, and that they
dyslexia hitting
are.
me here.
Alrighty. I'm looking at it right now, looking like they might be trying to go for a little bit of a cheeky invade here on the bottom side, running through the bottom lane right now.
Strange
Lost
invade
has to be
pattern.
careful.
Nautilus there to see him though, so kind of seems like
Yeah.
it was a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, that it was. Did a very good job there from Mumu to spot out that invade and to be able to properly back up. If it's spotted out something like that, they don't really have any kind of like real engage tool to just go in from that kind of distance. Nautilus can always just hook out and just get out. So good positioning there on the 5-point to make sure that there's no tomfoolery in this bottom lane.
Interesting pathing, I have to say. That's not a path you usually see if you're attempting to invade, especially a 5-man invade. Rarely do you see the invade come out of the bot lane.
Yeah, I do agree. Usually, when you're on the red side, oftentimes I've seen these invades go through the top side brush, where they'll walk all the way around, even into the lane, and then come down through that top side brush there and walk right up, right next to them. It's a lot harder to spot it out unless you're properly in the river. But if positioned correctly, you should be able to spot out most of these kind of invades. So. Looking at it now, looking like we do see the two bot lanes now meeting in the bottom lane. Looks like Senna and Nami do have the early push. So a little bit surprising seeing the more passive lane have the early lane stay.
Little skirmish up top. Small trade in mid. Already it looks like Lissandra is not liking the trades that she's getting with the Galio.
Yeah, and that it is. And looking like possibly the early level 2 might go the way of the Tristana.
Galio gets the taunt out, but besides that's enough. Oh, we got to go in from the Nautilus. He gets the hook off. Tristana gets the bomb off onto the Nami. It's not enough to take her down, but now she has significantly less health in lane. BFC has just made a misstep in bot and given control of the lane a little bit over to Lost Bottom.
Yeah, and that it was, and good on Mumu to understand the range of the Q. He hit that max range hook on to Edelweiss Dream and was able to pull her in. Complex, unfortunately, unable to get the very last auto off needed to detonate that bomb early and get the reset W. We definitely could have chunked more, but who knows? I mean, maybe he could have tried to go for a W reset in, get another auto, and maybe try to flash out or get another W reset. So a little bit of a missed opportunity.
The Senna has to be respected though. Like the ability of that champ to put down damage before you can realize it can't be understated, especially once she starts to pick up souls. A little bit of a skirmish going on mid lane. Carnage taking the worst of that one, and we see the junglers. Are they going to fight over this scuttle? They might. Top lane coming down to give them a help out. Galio going in on the Asian invasion. She gets knocked up, but she gets out. Cacti there to support, and they disengage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Udyr forced to get off of this scuttle now, so that scuttle's going to go to the way of the Karthus, and looking at where the bot lane is right now, looking like the Tristana Nautilus also going to take the bottom side scuttle, so while Karthus won't get the double scuttle, Udyr unfortunately not going to be able to get either one, putting him a little bit more behind.
Boys are doing pretty well on the top lane against Requiem. They go for a skirmish again. Set getting out. His damage, enough to push him away.
Yeah, and looking at this bottom lane and this top lane, two very high.
Oh, again, he goes in onto the set, says, I'm going to fight. I don't give a crap what you think. And then he's got the Karthus coming in to help him out. Will Requiem go down? He does. First blood over to the Karthus.
Yeah, very good gank there from Kip, understanding, the lane was going to be pushing and Requiem would be forced to be, kind of closer into that wave, forced to have to try to push this thing out. And Kip just understanding that he's going to be out of position, able to walk behind him. Good on him to get a good gank there.
That was a good gank. He's in the enemy red side jungle and takes it back. Again, top lane. Now Set goes back in on Foja, says, no way, I'm not just going to let you get away with doing that. Or able to get out with just a sliver of health.
Wow, and that's so unfortunate for Requiem. Burning the teleport to get back to lane, burning the flash, trying to go for the all-in, almost getting the kill. Boja just barely able to E out with the last little bit of his mana. So Requiem's going to be missing that flash now, unfortunately, in the top side, but it's a very good attempt. Almost got it.
Almost got it. Lane in a good position for him. Switching down over to bot lane, see what we can see. Not too much. Mid. Lissandra taking kind of the worst of this second trade against the Galio. Down to half health, not liking the poke that she's getting from him. Carnage making sure to keep her back underneath the tower and utilize his ranged attack to his fullest potential right now. Lissandra having trouble mid as the wave gets pushed in. This might be a plate for Carnage.
Yeah, and looking like, based off the positioning of the minimap, Karthus might be here on the dragon right now, trying to solo this dragon. Now, there is no bot lane, so there is risk of possibly BaeDCarry otherwise spotting this one out and maybe trying to rotate over.
Oh, a top lane skirmish. That results in an even trade with both, and they go back to farming. The giant bruisers in top lane just beating each other up and then going back to farming, beating each other up and going back to farming. Again, they go in on the skirmish. Ornn getting out his ultimate, though. Now the TP coming in from BFC. Zed gets his ultimate off onto the Ornn. Is it going to be enough to take the Ornn down? He does go down with the help of Lissandra.
Yeah, and very unfortunate.
And BFC answers back.
Yeah, Foja getting a little bit too greedy there, trying to go in for the kill, using the ultimate, trying to secure it despite seeing the teleport coming through from Asian Invasion. Good job by Requiem using the ultimate to try to reposition him closer to Lissandra. Combo the ultimate, use a W to survive it. So very smart play from him there. Very good job from Asian Invasion to be paying attention to the state of the top lane and using that teleport very smartly to secure the kill.
Indeed. You see Udyr now inside the blue side jungle, but he's going to take a recall. He doesn't want to fight, he says.
Yeah, and looking at it now, Karthus currently on the bottom side of the map. Udyr is coming out of base, so maybe they try to go for an invade here, and it's looking like that might be what they're doing.
Karthus deep in the blue side, or in the red side jungle. Are we going to see a fight in this jungle over this blue? Udyr kind of needs it, but Karthus needs it worse. Takes it away from the Udyr.
Yeah, and that's going to put the Udyr a little bit further behind now. Losing a Scuttle Crab and now losing a blue buff to the invade, so... Oh, good taunt by Galio.
Good taunt by Galio onto the Lissandra. She's taken heavy damage down to about 1/3 of her HP. Has to fall back underneath the tower. Yeah, Lissandra definitely taking the worst of the trades in mid lane.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of how that matchup's supposed to go, but hold on one moment. A little bit of trading top.
Oh, we got a flash from the Galio in, but he misses the taunt. Asian getting some heavy damage back onto him, and he does fall down.
And
another kill over to BFC. Udyr with his mid gank, turning some gold back into the pockets of BFC, and there's a fight top now. Again, the Bruisers just beating themselves up, going toe-to-toe, blow for blow. The Ornn coming out again as the Set tries to get back under his tower. Ornn taking shots from the tower. He's not going to be able to follow under and get him, but Set's driven super low. Karthus there to help, but he also gets driven low by the tower shots. Set is out.
Yeah, Set using the W shield, just barely able to survive the ultimate from the Karthus.
Oh, but we got a Udyr coming in. He's going to flash onto the Ornn. Is it enough? It's not quite enough, but the Kip taking heavy damage. He goes down underneath his own tower to the Udyr.
Udyr just barely able to walk out alive. Very good gank there from
Set going back in. It looks like it's over now. He says, no, that's enough.
Yeah, Ornn unfortunately stepping up there, forced to burn the flash to try to get out of the play after the play was over. So now both the top laner and the jungler without flash and without exhaust. So good job from Cacti Mamba going in there, understanding how much damage you can do, understanding they can get that kill and secures it. Very, very well done from him there. And also another great job from Requiem, using the shield properly to be able to absorb the damage from the Karthus ultimate, not giving the kill over. So he's playing very well this game.
Yeah. There's been some nice ganks that we've seen out of the side of BFC, and as a result, they're up 2 kills with the 10-minute mark. The gold doesn't reflect that, though, only being 200 gold ahead. And a dragon on the side of La Espada as well. So the game, despite being down 2 kills, is still very even.
Yeah, and that it is. And I mean, looking at where the gold is right now, currently the gold from the side of BaeDCarry fan club on the kill on the Lissandra with the assist, and also 2 kills over this Udyr. Currently, though, in this bot lane, you know, very, very neutral bot lane, but there is still an assist on this Senna having used that ultimate. So currently, I would say the bot lane right now favoring BaeDCarry. And Mumu maybe looking to go in here. Doesn't end up finding it. BaeDCarry fan club does end up spotting this one out. And currently, there is a freeze from Complex and Mumu Milk on this bottom side.
Arthur's taking the rift. And things quiet out as the teams settle in to try and figure out which objective they're going to go after.
And BaeDCarry going in here. Kakimama using the smite. Mumu Milk forced to flash over the wall to get out of this game.
Not quite enough. The disengage comes through. No fight. DFC trying to take control of this dragon. We'll see if we get a skirmish here as they start the dragon up.
Yeah, and looking like Complex right now, walking over, maybe going to try to ward it, but fortunately, there's nothing that they can do there, and it is gone, but we're seeing a 4-man rotation to mid right now.
Interesting.
Looking like they should be able to just walk out of this one, maybe. A little bit of trading going on top side still.
Again, the Bruisers standing toe-to-toe like heavyweight boxers, just beating the crap out of each other. No real victor on either side in the top lane. Bot lane pushing back and forth. Mid having a little bit of trouble, but now we start to see something interesting happen here. Though the kills favor BFC, the gold advantage is on La Espada.
Yeah, and I would argue this probably has to do with that first blood, you know, currently still being just enough right now where Karthus does still have that advantage, as well as the double scuttle being taken away from Udyr. So, La Espada right now, you know, while it is basically even gold now, it is a dragon apiece for each side, and I would argue that, you know, La Espada, they have to figure out what they need to do to get this win, otherwise this Senna can scale up to be a monster in the late game.
Senna is indeed a monster late game. She's one of the scariest champs that you can come against down in the bot. Thankfully for Complex, he is Tristana. He can jump away if she manages to land her root on him. He can jump away if she tries to land the lifesteal shot on him. He can jump away if she tries to ult him. It's just, can he get the timing right to dodge that damage?
Absolutely.
If he can get out of those, I think BFC's bot lane is in serious trouble. But we'll have to wait and see as a skirmish comes out top lane. Ornn getting some damage off onto the set, but Udyr coming in to help him out. The ult comes down, and we get a TP coming in also from the side of La Espada. Is Ornn going to stay alive? No, it's not enough. The taunt comes out onto the Udyr. Not the Udyr. And we have to fight bot lane as well. Nautilus going in. Senna ult coming out.
Yeah, and looking at it now, a little bit of a late jump from Complex, but they do still get the kill onto Senna. Senna goes down. Karthus getting the kill onto Lissandra. They're looking for the Nami, but Nami getting away into the tower should be able to survive this. And while there was the fight in topside, Galio did burn the teleport, and Foja still ended up going down. La Espada still on the invade, though, able to get the camps down here on the bottom side and able to win that bottom side skirmish.
I had a little bit of lag issues there. I lost that second fight.
It's all good, my friend.
I didn't get to see it there.
Oh, Carnage, though.
Oh, top lane, though. Getting a hard damage off onto the Udyr. He's forced to run away. Set running as well. Is he going to be able to chase him under the tower? It's yet to be seen. Decides he doesn't want to.
No.
Oh, but the Karthult coming out. Is it going to be enough? Oh, oh no, he does go down. He does go down.
The Leandri's burn secures the kill after the ultimate goes through.
Oh, that's not what you want to see, is Udyr. You think you survived it. You've got the tiniest sliver of health, but Carnage goes in underneath the tower. He's going to take down the Set. Yes! Set goes down.
Sandra's rotating up here through River. Carnage has to get out of here quickly. And just like that, Karthus getting 150 gold bounty off of the Udyr. Very good use of the ultimate. Good communication on the side of La Espada. Good job on that one. But also, Galio getting a 1v1 on Requiem under his own tower even. So very, very good stuff right now from the side of La Espada in this mid game right now. And looking at Complex and Mumu Milk knocking down this mid tier 1 tower, and that is the second tower taken down.
Yeah, just like that, BFC went from kind of being a little bit favored to now they're on their back foot. You know, they kind of feel pushed up against the ropes. We'll see what they do to get out of the situation, but as of right now, that hurt them. That hurt them. And it's evidenced in now the 3K gold lead, it appears.
And that it is. So, looking at it right now, we don't have another objective up for another 40 seconds, so maybe La Espada going to try to step around this dragon, but BaeDCarry Fan Club also on this bottom side of the map. However, walking through a lot of vision, they will be spotted out. And this is going to be a battle over this third dragon of the game.
Third Drake coming up. It's a win Drake.
Yeah, and looking like we are seeing a reset out of the Nami, so looking like they might opt to give this one up. There's still 15 seconds before the dragon does end up coming up. Currently, though, looking like La Espada prioritizing getting this mid-wave push.
Oh, Karthus gets his slow off onto Lissandra, but she gets out with her dash alone. Small trade mid as La Espada tries to keep priority in mid lane so they can take the dragon. They really want this dragon. Wind Dragon with the team comp that La Espada is running is huge. Getting the Karthus cooldown low. Getting the Ornn cooldown low. I mean, even the Galio and the Nautilus, all these cooldowns, the more that you can spam out these giant crowd controlling abilities or the heavy Karth damage that can come out, the better they are.
Yeah, and looking at the side of BaeDCarry Fan Club, looking like they might try to opt to do something here on the top side of the map. They did lose the dragon, but they did establish a lot of vision in La Espada's topside jungle, setting up for this Rift Herald right now. Rift Herald is spawning up. They do still have vision advantage, but looking like they're backing off to the mid lane right now, trying to establish mid lane control, and they just completely walk away from this objective and give all vision control over the side of La Espada.
A little strange there, I gotta say. I expected them to really contest this rift after having given up that second dragon, but they're just gonna say go ahead and take it as they go to try and establish lane dominance once again. Lissandra on the bot wave, gonna see if she can hurt the tower.
Yeah,
La Espada taking down the rift with no repercussions.
Yeah, and maybe from the side of BaeDCarry Fan Club, maybe, you know, they're just trying to play for the long con. You know, they're trying to just get to this late game, but hold on one moment.
We're going to have a top in the top lane. A top in the top lane where a fight breaks out. Yes, indeed. Set getting the worst of it. Ornn's ult comes out. What? So does Set's. The bomb goes off onto the Set, and he dies underneath his tower.
Jumps tower, though. Complex is half HP. Here's Cacti.
Oh, he's not in a good spot, though. He's got out by the Udyr. The ult comes out from Complex and knocks him back. Is it going to be enough? He's reinforced with the Nautilus and the Karthus coming in, but Complex still goes down to Cacti. He runs back under his tower, hoping to try and stay safe. We'll see if Mumu gives him a dive. He does not. Wants to back out, but we have BaeDCarry. BaeDCarry. Answering back on the bot lane, taking down the tower of their own as La Espada drops the rift top.
Yeah, and looking like Complex kind of into it a little bit there. You know, jumping in after the Set died, so he doesn't get that W reset, and Udyr just runs right up, kills him after taking 2 tower shots. But
got a TP coming into the top lane. That's kind of a bad TP, but they back away. They don't want to try and face the Set because Lissandra is right there to back him up.
Yeah, and looking at it now, the current gold lead of this game is about 4,000 gold, currently in favor of the side of La Espada after getting the kill onto Complex there. But they do still end up dropping that Rift Herald and getting the last outer turret. So BaeDCarry Fan Club right now, still a little bit on the back foot, but, you know, maybe seeing a little bit of life with that kill.
That definitely helped him out tremendously. You can almost feel that they have a little bit of spark back in them, like they're not just going to roll over and die. I would expect that I'd expect them to fight really hard to keep the next objective in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at it right now, looking like currently the next objective to be coming up will be this Baron in about 30 seconds. Will be interesting to see if either team opts to try to set up vision around this and maybe try to push for an early Baron, or maybe they're just going to try to, you know, stick with sieging and pushing these waves. That would definitely favor the side of BaeDCarry Fan Club, who just want to scale up. So hopefully, you know, maybe La Espada tries to establish some more control around this objective and look to push for it. But looking like we are seeing a little bit of rotation coming towards top side.
Lissandra getting out as Galio spots her. No fight coming out there. But with 4 members of BFC on the top side, they look a little bit hungry.
Yeah, and looking at it here right now, looking like Complex will just try to hold this mid lane, try to keep the mid lane push going. Meanwhile, in the jungle right now, Kip did just take his blue, was spotted on a control ward, and currently Carnage is on this bottom side of the map with teleport. So if they want to try to push for this objective, they definitely can.
Red going over to the Senna on the side of EFC. That's gonna really suck if she gets a hold of you.
And that it will. And looking like we do have Dragon coming up here soon. In about 45 seconds, we will have the 4th Dragon of the game, the 2nd Cloud Dragon, if La Espada are able to get it. They currently have control in this bottom side jungle, so hopefully BaeDCarry fan club does have to move with a little bit of caution as they will be spotted out trying to walk through here.
These dragons are a big thing for La Espada. They need that Karth ult on the lowest cooldown that they can get.
Absolutely.
And I think BFC understands this as they try and set up to make sure that they're not taken off guard for this next dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking like the Karthus and Tristana reading what was going on in the room and understanding that they had to get out of that mid lane push. They were a little bit too far forward. Lissandra was trying to wrap around, but unfortunately they were able to get out before she could get in range to engage.
We see BFC getting down in the bot lane. They actually have the priority on positioning here. They're going to start the dragon right out of the gate. No waiting around. Do we have a fight going to come out? Is La Espada going to challenge this? Yes! He goes in. The Galio ult coming out. The Nami ult coming out. I got some lag, but now that everything's coming back in clear, La Espada just chunking down. The Karth ult comes out, and wow, just like that, BFC is all but wiped out. Only Udyr escapes with his life as La Espada takes the dragon and continues to push in top lane. Ooh, BFC is they're in a bad spot. They took a hard hit there.
Yeah,
how are they going to recover from this?
That was a 4v5 fight that BaeDCarry fan club took for that dragon. Ornn did not have the teleport, and still La Espada was able to come out on top of that fight. Just goes to show the power of the Karthus currently being ahead and of this Galio, able to get a double kill in that fight on the cleanup.
The Galio ult was just beautiful. And then I lost everything for a second there, and then Karthus just came in and demolished everybody. I didn't quite see what happened as the Galio ult came down because it knocked up and everything kind of went all jiggy for me. But great ults from the side of La Espada, and BSC desperate now to make something happen.
Yeah, BaeDCarry fan club now in a pretty bad position after that one. They're about 5.5k gold down, a little more than that. But I mean, at this point, like, their win condition is just scale to late game. You know, the early game power that Udyr, currently 4-1, is, you know, falling off. Like, there's a point where he will no longer be able to do the things he needs to. And right now, this is a very powerful Karthus. This Galio is quite strong, and I mean, while Complex doesn't really have any kills himself, I would argue that he still scales up pretty well, doing a good job keeping up in CS. So Senna is going to be the shining light of BaeDCarry fan club if they're able to get to a late game position.
And unfortunately for them, she's sitting on 0 kills. The Udyr having the 4 kills was a great thing in the early game. As the fight comes out bot lane, yes, Galio getting chunked down by the Senna and the Udyr. Are they going to be able to take him down? He's running. He's got a long way to go, though, if he's going to try and get out. Only Carnage is in a desperate spot. He turns to fight. And we go over to the Baron. All right.
Yeah, and looking like Baron
La
is secure
Espada
from La
doing
Espada.
some wiping over on the Baron pit. Set ult comes out. Or excuse me, the set E comes out, but it doesn't catch anybody. And now the Karth ult comes. Is it going to be big enough? Oh, it is big enough. The Nami goes down to the Karth ult. Whoa! Huge damage coming out from Karthus as Senna is forced to recall.
Yeah, and looking like Udyr was spotted out on this bottom side. It was pinged out, and looked like he will just clear the bottom side of La Espada's jungle. Meanwhile, La Espada pushing down this mid right now, looking like they are going to try to take this mid tier 3 Nexus tower, or not Nexus, sorry, inhibitor tower right now, and nobody's here to be able to answer this currently.
They have Baron buff. BFC's in kind of a tough spot here. Udyr doing what he can to deny La Espada gold in their own jungle, knowing that they're going to back out and probably rotate back down towards where he's at. He just does everything that he can to try and keep his team in the game.
Absolutely, and looking like Udyr is on the collapse here. This Karthus is a little bit caught out right now.
Is it going to be enough? He finds the Karthus. He gets the stun out. The Lissandra goes in as well. Karthus taken down heavy. The Galio coming in with his ult, though. Knocks out the Lissandra. She goes down. Big damage, and now he's got to run. He's got the Triss bomb on him, though, and yes, he does go down before the bomb even explodes to the Karthus. The Karthus dealing so much damage right now. Wow.
Yeah, and what looked like a beautiful catch from BaeDCarry fan club onto Kip on his Karthus. They caught him out trying to steal their blue buff, but the Galio was in position to follow up with the ultimate. It's a huge two-man knockup, and La Espada ends up able to save Kip and pick up both of the kills there.
Great play by La Espada on that one to save their jungler, especially with that 500 gold shutdown that he's got. They don't want the Karthus dying. They want him alive, and as I was saying earlier, they want those Windrakes so that ult just comes out as often as possible. La Espada now pushing heavy on the bot lane. BFC going to answer. Set still top trying to deal with the Ornn. And Super Minions pushing mid. They've got tough decisions that they have to make right now. They disengage, decide to keep their base safe. Farm up some Super Minions.
Yeah, we got Dragon in 35 seconds now. This will be the Cloud Soul for La Espada if they're able to secure this Dragon right now. Foja clearing a control ward in their jungle, and currently La Espada just has complete control on the bottom side of the jungle BaeDCarry fan club.
This Soul, again, huge for La Espada, giving that ult cooldown on the Karthus and on the Galio. The Galio ults have been on point this evening, causing extreme destruction throughout BFC. We'll see what they do to answer this deficit that they find themselves in.
Absolutely, and looking like BaeDCarry fan club, they're just going to be on their top side jungle, get the red over to the Senna, and that is just a free Dragon over to the side of La Espada, killing this thing off spawn, currently up about 9,000, 8,500 gold right now, so they're definitely in the driver's seat, looking like they are around this bottom side and might try to push into this bottom inhibitor tower.
Senna doing her best to farm up the Super Minions in mid. Is it going to be enough? She has a CS lead on the Tristana, but neither of the AD carries is really the super threat in this game. Karthus an extreme threat on the side of La Espada, and Udyr an extreme threat on the side of BFC. If he can get to their backline, he can shut down the Senna quickly, and then La Espada finds himself in the back foot, but they go in, they take the tower with the power of the five-man push. Now the Ornn ult comes out, but the Set ult comes out as well. The Karthus ult coming out, all three ults going down. Oh, whoa, so much damage coming out onto BFC. They get chunked hard. Senna getting knocked up by the Nautilus ult, and she's going to go down. She gets her ult up, but it's not enough. The Karthus getting a triple kill with the extreme damage. He's got the knock-up onto the Nami, and she's going to fall as well. Udyr, once again, the final man standing on the side of BFC, and it looks like this might be the game. La Espada might push to end. I don't think that Udyr's going to be able to stop them.
Yeah, and there's the GGs coming through chat. They know what's up. Everybody is dead other than the Udyr, who's not in a position to be able to stop this. And La Espada takes down BaeDCarry fan club in the 28-minute slugfest.
Ooh. That was a slugfest. On the rift there.
That it was, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to interview Complex now. Complex, how do you feel about the game? Yeah, there we go.
Alrighty. And we have Complex in here, captain of La Espada. Great win that came out today. The Karthus pick, were you expecting to get that?
I was absolutely not expecting the Karthus pick, to be honest with you. When we were going over draft prep, I was highly expecting them to ban it, understanding that Kip, he's a very strong jungler, one of the strongest players on the roster, and I'm surprised that he was able to get his comfort pick.
Yeah, he's shown himself to be extremely dangerous on that champion, especially in today's game where he was definitely the MVP, the hard carry. The amount of damage he put out, more than double of anyone else on his team. Just an amazing performance out of the Karthus. Now, your guys' draft prep, it looks like you had a pretty decent amount of prep going on. What did you think about the draft when you saw the two uh, unlikely picks come out in the side of BFC, the
Uh,
Senna and the Lysandra?
yeah, as far as the draft goes, I mean, it basically was exactly like week one. I think the only different pick was we had a Nautilus instead of a Braum. So both games that we've gotten the Karthus, it has been the exact same team composition, virtually the same at least, all the way through. So from the side of BaeDCarry fan club, was definitely an interesting draft. I wasn't expecting the Senna. We knew that there's a world they could pull with the Nami, and Lysandra was definitely unexpected as well. Um, as well as that set. I mean, honestly, they pulled out a lot of picks we were not expecting or we weren't necessarily prepared for. So we just kind of fell back to comfort and just stuck with what we know.
Indeed, as a strong team comp, it worked out well. The Udyr, however, coming out from the side of BFC, showed himself early to be just a terror. What were your guys' thoughts on that? How did you plan to answer such a fed jungler?
Udyr was definitely, he was putting in a lot of work. It was unexpected. The amount of pressure that the Cacti Mambo was able to put on with that Udyr. I definitely think that he played extremely well. And in terms of like just dealing with the pick overall, it is one that does end up falling off later on in the game, but it is not something that we wanted to play for. Knowing they have a Senna, we don't want them to hit late game. So Karthus versus Udyr, I mean, it is Karthus favored, and we just basically had to play with, both teams have a fed jungler who can play around their jungler better. And at the end of the day, I mean, we were able to execute with Kip, and I'm happy with his performance. I'm happy with our team.
Indeed, indeed. That is week 6, AVG, La Espada taking down BaeDCarry fan club.
Hey, you did it! All right.
A great performance from both teams, and we're looking forward to see what the week has in store for the rest of the matches.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys, everybody coming out. We do appreciate everybody's support and whatnot, and we will see you guys later on tonight with Royal Vagabonds, I do believe, taking on... Let me double check real quick. Royal Vagabonds taking on Hot Take at 7 p.m. PST, so in about 1 hour that game will be live. So see you guys then.
Look for it. Take care.